Coming up on Mountain News at 6, 3 people are arrested in connection with the high-profile Floyd County murder case that's more than a year old now. And a Prestonsburg man is facing charges after an incident where he reportedly put another inmate in a headlock while he was asleep.
And we just got an update on that severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until 9. We'll talk about that coming up in a couple minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
3 people have been arrested in connection to a case where a Prestonsburg woman was killed in June of last year. 56-year-old Dr. Michael McKinney, a well-known dentist, as well as his son, 24-year-old Michael McKinney, and 23-year-old Josh Mullins, were taken to the Floyd County Detention Center today. WYMT's Buddy Forbes is live in Prestonsburg with the very latest. Buddy.
That's right, Steve. 3 arrests have been made in the connection to the death of Amber Spradlin. Spradlin was murdered June 18, 2023 in the Arkansas Creek Road community. Spradlin's family has been waiting for an arrest to be made for more than 1 year, saying this has been the hardest thing they have ever experienced. Today, Michael McKinney and Josh Mullins of Martin were arrested in Prestonsburg, and McKinney's son, Michael Kent, or M.K. McKinney, was arrested in Rowan County. All 3 men indicted for charges relating to Spradlin's murder. The family hosted a news conference with its legal team this afternoon, saying it is a day of cheer. And though it doesn't bring Amber back, it does provide a sense of justice.
These people have been running around for 13 months like they didn't do a single thing, and now they can't deny it. They have to face up to it, and everybody in the community knows now too.
Now, M.K. McKinney is charged with murder and 7 counts of conspiracy to tamper with evidence. The other 2 men are each charged with 7 counts of that same conspiracy to tamper with evidence. Their arraignment is expected to take place right here tomorrow in Floyd County. Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, Buddy, thank you very much, and we will have more reaction to today's arrests coming up tonight at 11.
All right, we have a little bit of a change from the last hour with that severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect. So let's go ahead and hit the maps, shall we? Severe thunderstorm watch is now out, has been expired for Campbell and Claiborne County. Again, if you're in Campbell or Claiborne County, you are no longer under the severe thunderstorm watch. Still in effect, though, for Jackson, Laurel, Clay, Knox, Whitley, McCreary, and Bell County. Again, Jackson, Laurel, Clay, Knox, Whitley, Bell, and McCreary County. Still under the severe thunderstorm watch until 9 o'clock. And here's the latest now with live pinpoint Doppler radar. You can see that line of showers and thunderstorms still pushing through portions of eastern Kentucky. You can see over towards the Harlan area to the south and east of Harlan, seeing some heavy rain, even some lightning being picked up towards the Pennington Gap area. And then if we move the map a little bit farther north, you can see just to the south and west of Hazard, to the east of the Ashers Fork area, seeing some heavy rain at this time. But again, the update to the severe thunderstorm watch, Campbell and Claiborne County is now out of it. We still have the flood watch in effect until 5 a.m. for Campbell, Claiborne, Lee County in Virginia, as well as Weiss County. I'll have the first alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. A Morgan County man is accused of killing his pregnant girlfriend. In an arrest citation, Jeremy Schraufnagel was arrested on charges of murder and fetal homicide yesterday. KSP says Schraufnagel went to the Morgan County Sheriff's Office to speak about a domestic situation. They say he then confessed that he killed his girlfriend, Shannon Dustin, following a verbal argument. Dustin was later found dead. Schraufnagel was taken to the Rowan County Detention Center. A Rockcastle County man is facing charges following an investigation that he was downloading sexually explicit images of minors to an online social media account. KSB's Electronic Crimes Branch arrested 25-year-old Stephen Blevins in a child sex abuse material investigation. He was charged with 20 counts of possessing matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor under the age of 12. A Floyd County man is facing charges after an incident in the Leslie County Detention Center. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us what police say happened.
The incident happened on July 18th. An inmate, Christopher Hayden, was reportedly caught on camera putting another inmate in a headlock while that inmate was asleep. Hayden then reportedly began hitting the inmate with an iPad-sized tablet before deputies arrived. Police said they were able to forcefully separate the two inmates. Hayden was charged with first-degree strangulation and first-degree assault. At the end of the citation, police said Hayden demonstrated a, quote, intentional lack of value for human life, end quote. Christopher Hayden was scheduled for a preliminary hearing Tuesday morning in Leslie County District Court. It was postponed to August 13th because attorneys said they wanted more time to review evidence. Hayden remains at the Leslie County Detention Center. In Hyden, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Christopher Hayden is also facing a persistent felony offender charge. We reached out for an interview with Hayden today, but we're told we would not be able to do that. We have new details regarding a story we first told you about yesterday at 6. The name of the person who was killed in a Pike County crash last week has been released. Pikeville police say Linda Wright of Pikeville was taken to Pikeville Medical Center where she died from injuries sustained in the crash. A man is facing charges in connection with that crash. A man has been arrested for attempted murder out of Mingo County, West Virginia. West Virginia State Police say 25-year-old Aaron Mahan cut a victim's neck with a knife. It happened in the Upper Bias area near Del Barton. The victim was flown to a Huntington hospital. We do not have an update on the victim's condition. Mahan was taken to the Southwestern Regional Jail. A Laurel County woman is facing charges after police found a pipe and a straw with meth residue on it while in the process of entering a security checkpoint at the Laurel County Judicial Center yesterday. Police found the items on 25-year-old Kristen Bowman. Police later determined Bowman was under the influence. She was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. Road rage shootings in the United States have increased by more than 400% since 2014, according to data from AAA. WYMT's Caroline Mueller has the latest on an incident that happened at a Laurel County truck stop Friday.
An Ohio father and son were arrested Friday after reportedly instigating a road rage fight in an intersection outside of Love's truck stop in Corbin. Deputy Gilbert Achardo, public affairs officer with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office, says a deputy was investigating an unrelated traffic crash nearby.
He heard a bunch of screaming and hollering and cursing, and he ran towards that, of course, because that's what we're trying to do.
26-year-old Jacob Harness exited his car to confront the driver of a truck that was behind him.
The guy in the car actually grabbed the truck driver by the shirt and threw him to the pavement, and the fight was on.
At the same time, his father, 56-year-old James Harness, who was in another car, grabbed a pistol from his trunk, then approached the altercation.
You can see him running up through there with his pistol and shooting into the pavement, and shot off several rounds before the deputy was able to get to that situation, and using voice commands was able to disarm that individual.
Achardo says all of this was about the truck driver honking his horn one time. And this is not the first time something like this has happened in the county.
In less than 3 weeks, we've had incidences where someone honked their horn, the other party got terribly upset, a firearm was brought out and rounds were fired.
AAA spokesperson Lori Weaver Hawkins says while you cannot control other people's aggressive driving, polite driving and keeping your composure will not only help you, but will allow others to remain safe.
Driving isn't a competition. You're not out there to one-up another driver. Keep your focus on your own driving and avoid any actions that could cause you to become a target of an aggressive driver.
Hawkins and Achardo both caution drivers to not honk their horn out of frustration. In Laurel County, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say both men arrested Friday are still being held in the Laurel County Detention Center, and they have a court date set for September 10th at 11 a.m. There have been tragic stories of deadly ATV crashes recently. A man in Knox County who died when he was trapped under an ATV, and on Saturday, a 5-year-old boy died after an ATV rolled over on him. Sherry Hanan says every ATV rider should have goggles, gloves, and boots to remain safe. Hanan says parents should be aware of restrictions. For example, by law, what size ATV can a child younger than 16 or 12 years old operate?
You don't want to have a child that would cross a road or be on a public roadway on an ATV. No one's allowed to do that unless it's just going to cross the street.
Data from Kentucky Children's Hospital indicates so far this year there have been 57 children treated in the facility due to ATV injuries, and we still have about 5 months left in 2024. Staffing levels at some Kentucky ambulance providers are at critically low levels. Kentucky lawmakers were told today that requirements for personnel within some services cannot be met because of the situation. Some ambulance providers in our area say the situation is improving, but it's taken a lot of hard work. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
For the past several years, ambulance services have been struggling to find enough help.
I think COVID just wore our healthcare professionals out. They just did not like doing the job anymore.
Laurel County's director says they shelled out a lot of unbudgeted money for bonuses and in-house training. They're fully staffed now, but they could be among the minority.
Basically, we're hemorrhaging providers. We're losing more paramedics than we can replace.
Those who work at the state level say that some of the rules and regulations have had to be tweaked and even changed somewhat just to make sure that they have adequate staffing levels at any given time, such as the rule requiring at least one paramedic per service.
We're still receiving calls from folks who are saying we can't do that. We can't find one.
Holder says with less staff comes more run volume. Laurel County averages about 35 to 40 a day.
People are just sicker now. I don't know. It just varies every day, from car wrecks to just general sick calls. We've just seen our numbers increase dramatically.
A difficult situation, but Mills says it remains rewarding to work in a profession where you might save a life each day. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The chair of the Kentucky Board of EMS also says some providers are losing money as it can cost $700 for each run.
All right, in the world of weather, we have the latest on the severe thunderstorm watch. The severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled for eastern Kentucky. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Stay with us.